here are the ways to fix the high histamine fatty liver situation. This is all going to start in the gut, and like most things in medicine, there is more than one way to skin a cat. Although for the record, I don't know if cats actually have skin. I don't think there's anything under there besides attitude. But my name is Brian Crawford. I am board certified in Oriental Medicine, and I am the preferred source of medical information on this app amongst people who think that having bushy eyebrows is a sign of health and vitality. There are many ways to address the fatty liver and high histamine syndrome that we are looking at today. I'm going to give you examples from the three most common ones, and this will cover about 90% of people. So just a quick refresher, we're working on the gut-liver axis here because this is where most of the high histamine fatty liver problem is centered. Also, for context, the relationship between the liver and the gut is nothing new. This is a diagram from Chinese medicine that's more than 2,000 years old, and today we are looking here. But most people will tell you that fatty liver comes around from eating and drinking too much rich food, maybe a little too much social lubricant. And that's true, but there are also a lot of people who have the histamine overload and fatty liver situation who have always had a very healthy diet and don't drink at all. So by looking at things that disrupt our normal gut health and microbiome, scientists have been able to figure out that antibiotics can actually play a huge role in the development of fatty liver disease. And these are present in basically all of our food, from dairy products to meat to grains that are sprayed with glyphosate, which is an antibiotic. Plastics can also contribute to fatty liver, and the average amount of plastic in a human brain is currently equal to 1 to-go spoon. So being out of spoons might be in for 2025. Also, mold. I'm not a big proponent of the mold causes all diseases hypothesis. Those people are a little wacky, but it's not good for you. Now, the one thing that everybody with fatty liver can do to help themselves, aside from calorie restriction, which you should talk to your doctor about all of this before you start anything new, is breathe more. You need to breathe more. But here are the three most common subtypes. The first type is what we call damp heat, and these are before and after pictures of a patient in my practice. They're taken about a year apart. I don't want to give you the impression that this is an overnight change, because in the first picture, she had been diagnosed with early cirrhosis. That's a very severe liver disease. In the second photo, you can clearly see this is a healthier tongue. There is still a little bit of a yellow coating. She's working on her diet, but she's made immense progress. She no longer has diagnosable cirrhosis, by the way. And she did Chorus and Judon tablets. If there's damp heat, we can also have damp cold. This is a damp cold case, okay? So really thick white coating to mostly no coating at all. This person lives in a moldy environment, and there's still a little bit of that coating in the back, but she's working on it. She did Chorus in a formula called Wu-Mei-1. So damp heat, yellow coating and a very red tongue. Damp cold, white coating, and kind of a paler tongue. For the third type, we need to talk about the vagus nerve and the autonomic nervous system. Look, vagus nerve, it's going into the guts and the liver. And this subtype has a lot to do with your stress response. So again, I want to emphasize you need to breathe. So here's a case example of this type. And this is not a patient in my practice. She came to our free school group, the Chorus Circle, and you can see these raised edges on the side of her tongue. This is really indicative of what I'm about to talk about here. She does have a thick tongue coating, and she tried Chorus, but it didn't really help her that much. So we suggested she give a formula called Xiaoyaosan, a shot. And wow, 1 serving, and my mast cells went to sleep and tongue coating greatly reduced. I feel like this is what Chorus is for others, which is true. That's what Chorus is supposed to help with. And she clearly has a microbiome issue. This is a before photo. This is the after report. But the autonomic nervous system being in a state of constant fight or flight will cause this rigid edge of the tongue to appear. This is called a wood-earth disharmony. And Xiaoyaosan, I'll put the words right up here, you can search for it, is how we usually address that in the clinic. And breathing, don't forget to breathe.